So, you know, Alan crashed. I got up and I took a walk. You know, in the dark, flashlight, gun, like I do. Like Alan does. It was nice. It was a, you know, cold night out, but fucking, I'm good with cold. The witch was less enthused. She gets chilly easily. But such is life. You know, it's winter, finally. Or at least winter-ish. And, yeah, I believe we'll be able to pick up roughly where we left off with Alan. Get things on the road, finish up this chapter, and finish up this recording. And I will do my best not to just let my thoughts wander about, you know, what if I had just kept walking? Where might I end up? What might I see? We'll find that out another time. Stacks of houses is what she says. That's what I would have seen. Alright. We'll give you ears. We'll give you eyes. I'll do a tab over thing just to make sure that it's capturing. Uh-huh. Yep, looking good. Okie doke. And we're resuming. Pretty much where we were, right? And down we go. We're heading for Lover's Peak. Alan, for some reason, seems to think that Alice has been kidnapped. He's choosing to believe that right now. It's the visitor center.
The vision left me weak. This was no head injury.
Rusty, hang on! I'm coming! Please, help me!
Well, it's also scenes like this that are effective, aren't they? You simply see what the darkness has done. How it has ripped these things apart.
Can you hear me? Anyone! Please, help! Help me! Hello? Back here! I'm back here! Hey! Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell.
It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must. The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back. Whatever did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy.
Well, Rusty is in pretty bad shape. I also find this more effective as well. I remember last time I had mentioned that the Dead Space developers spent time looking at car wrecks and things like that to understand how a broken human body might look, and I don't know that that comes across in their design. It just looks like a mash to me. This, however, looks like a leg that has been extremely badly broken. And we've told Max that he's a good boy. I think he deserves it. If you're coming here for a smoother play than the other timeline, you know that, well, it's not looking great in here, is it?
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on.
Well, first, manuscript pages.
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Yeah, it's a little bit grim. Here we go. Open. Another page.
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. "Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page."
Well, we'll save Rusty's final thoughts until after the deed is done. Meantime, we got things to snag. Batteries. Some ammunition.
I was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker.
It's true.
There was no way to get the lights back on.
Also true. Well, there you go. And you can see things like this. The Taken are not idiots. They know what a circuit breaker is. They know what their specific weaknesses are.
The ground was covered with oily patches that looked like liquid darkness.
If we step on these, they do damage.
Hunters need hunting licenses.
That's true, they do. As you might guess, there's not much we can do for either of the two that we found there. In this case, it's not because, we're just bad at it. It's because the narrative is set up to put us far away from anything that we might have been able to help. You know, not quite Dead Space, where you round the corner and they die in a scripted event, and there's absolutely nothing you can do, even though they are still standing right there. The character just refuses to react because control is yanked out of your hands. Oh, here's Rusty's final thoughts now that we're quite sure.
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
Unrequited love. Whereas you shouldn't necessarily pursue someone in the traditional sense, because the traditional sense is fucking weird and treats people like possessions. You should at least be honest with yourself and with the people around you about how you feel about them.
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
But it wasn't Bucktooth Charlie. And, well,
Please don't feed the animals.
unfortunately, Max was caught in the path, but we did get to tell him he was a good boy.
For those
Visitors
who purchase a park
fishing.
license.
And Rusty is up top.
The park ranger's instructions.
At all times.
Rusty? Rusty, no!
Wolves never approach any other world. Look closer than pets, but really. Never leave your pets.
Unattended.
And it seems that the darkness pays little attention to Rusty's injury.
To remove any
Natural objects.
or historical artifacts from the park. This includes even or even simple berries.
And what the computer's doing right now is trying to find a way to approach me from behind. That's how this enemy type works. So long as you can follow them, they don't find an opening. Oh yeah, they flit around and try to circle you, get behind, slap you up. Rusty, still quoting from bits and pieces of his ranger training. Just a moment here. Making double sure. Yep, everything seems to be alright so far. If you're wondering why we tab over like that, it's because the game does not support full screen windowed. If you play it in a window, it allows you to click off of it. Which, you know, I use my mouse to aim, so that's a problem. Open. Yeah, hey Barry.
What the hell was that? I saw it from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Drop hazard. You know, Barry, understandably, a little bit freaked out. Alan, being a dick. Not very helpful. Not saying, hey, listen, yeah, it's dangerous. He doesn't start with that. He starts with, a told you so. Alright, how about another?
In spite of its human mask, to describe the dark presence as intelligent would have implied human qualities on something decidedly inhuman. Nonetheless, it found the one spot in the diner that was dark enough. Some light spilled into the corridor, ravaging it. But it took the pain. Horrible as it was, the writer would soon fix that. He would be coming to the one place where it still had power.
And you know what? Let's go ahead and just blaze through a few of these, shall we? So that we can kind of chug along.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it. I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home.
Wake, this is no good, man. This is no good. So his excerpts from the Alex Casey story. He's going on too long. If you want me to feel the tragedy of the character passing in an unexpected way, then they need to think about what's left undone. The things that they did not get to. It can't be a release. There can't be catharsis, and it still be a tragedy. I have to feel like it's not time yet, because if it's just time, then okay, you know. And if it's tragic, then I'm not supposed to feel okay with it. Now am I? Anyway, more excerpts.
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall and the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed. Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened.
Oh, never mind. We've done this one. Yeah. It scared the shit out of Barry. We got that one done. Okay. So safe haven. Fuck. You know what? We'll do what's pertinent, because otherwise it's gonna take a bit, isn't it?
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the prince of her dreams, and that tended to underline the unbearable truth. She was no closer to that Hollywood magic than he was.
You see, the story between Rusty and Rose is a solid tragedy, because you wonder what might have been if things had gone just a little bit differently. You can see the path that would have made these characters happy in some way, and you can see that path denied. Well, it looks like we're missing one. Anyway, we know about the deputies. We know Barry met Rose. We have yet to meet Nightingale. We'll get there. We know what Barry is doing over in the estates right now. He's a little bit freaked out. So off we go. Okay, nothing there. Wake had to take himself a breather. Into the woods. For your safety, stay on the designated trail. It really is a good idea. If you're
Lover's
hiking,
Peak is the far end of the nation.
stick to the trail. It is. There's also stuff over here. But yeah, not only because, you know, you're told to, but just in case you don't report back at the time that you're supposed to, if you stick to the trail, odds are much better that someone will find you. Moonshine Cave. This cave was the site of frequent and lucrative bootlegger activity throughout the Prohibition, 1919 to 1933. It was mostly used for temporary storage of alcohol smuggled from Canada, but at times alcohol was also distilled on the premises. Wonderful. We have ourselves a long gun finally. And we got some batteries. We'll save the shotgun. Would have been handy to speed things along with Rusty, but no dice. Open. A reminder not to feed the wildlife. Some porta potties. Some batteries behind that beer. Woo. A little spin there he did. Apparently the sensitivity is kind of all over the place for those segments. Ow. Oh, hey. Pushed me. Rude. Don't push people. Alright, across the bridge we go. Another checkpoint here. Lover's Peak, that away. And so that away we're going. There's another manuscript page over there. But we've pretty much got those handled. Not much else over there to speak of. At least not that I've found. And we can see shit getting real whack again. But, you know, we're already here. And we can take a breather. More ammunition for our shotgun. Visitor Center. We know what's there. The great old one, and a dude living in it. Now he's got quite a thick darkness shield. He's also a large dude. They eat significant amounts of revolver rounds. Okay. We're still on the Nordic walking trail. Ow. And you know, there's the other thing with them, is that they recognize that they're not carrying guns, so what are they gonna do about you being far away? They're gonna throw one of their implements at you. And of course there'll be more. There's always more. But you know how this works at this point. They can't touch those intense sources of light. It's just not good for them. A little bit too soon on my part. There we go. You can try to barrel past those guys and get to this, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. Revolver pieces. They've disabled the phone, so they know what phones are. Another manuscript page, but we've got a handle of what's going on for right now. Bear alert. You should always be alert for bears. They will steal whatever sweets you've left out. Looks like bloody claws. Okay. Not entirely sure where it is they're getting these, like, farming sickles. Definitely something that I wouldn't want to get slapped by, but not the most dangerous of weapons. It's one of those avoid them if you're faced with the whole, you know, need to, but... Ow. And sometimes you just get rumbled like that. Oh well. Back in. So as you can see, you know, even on normal difficulty, it's highly possible to just get slapped about until dead. The enemies here are lethal. You are just a person. And your fucking tweed jacket is not really gonna help you. There we are. And this time we were just, you know, in a better position. I wasn't fucking around in a corner. Let's stay on the designated trail. Nothing really at that picnic table for us. Through tree. It was an imperative. That way to Lover's Peak. This way to what I consider more important, it's tourist crap. Barry says no one likes a tourist. You know, I'm down to look at this. This looks sweet. The tree this ring was cut from started growing in 1846, the year the Oregon Treaty was signed. Other notable events marked on the rings: 1853, the Washington Territory was formed; 1878, the founding of the Bright Falls Mining Corporation; and the town itself. It might be company rather than corporation. Probably company. 1889, Washington was granted statehood. 1929, tree damaged in a forest fire. 1970, the Bright Falls Mining Company closes its doors after a volcanic eruption below Cauldron Lake. 1980, Mount St. Helens erupts. 1987, tree felled by storm. A lot of bad shit happened in 87, didn't it? Okay. It's a hiking trail. Motor vehicles are prohibited. No littering. Dogs must be leashed. I refuse. I'm just going to continue to haunt this man. Like I do. Hey, a page. But again, we know what they say. Still don't feed those. Here's a gondola. And a map. Elderwood National Forest. We got the nature trail. We got the Moonshine Cave. A gazebo, some cabins, a visitor center. It looks like we're going on a big old loop, doesn't it? We do have to get back to Barry. Effectively Alan's other wife. He could do worse than Barry. Barry cares about him. Uh-huh. There we go. Please keep doors closed. Not the boss of me. Ah, damn it, they are the boss of me. Oh, not on that side. Okay. Well, we'll take it easy. Otherwise we'll wind up throwing ourselves into the pit. Birds.
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares won't keep the bastards away.
They're also less plentiful. Anyway, we have, for the moment,
You can see them.
a new friend.
Of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but
Let's move.
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Yeah, pretty much.
You better keep up.
Well, you better shoot straight. How about you actually hit them? Our friend here is not the best shot. He's actually kind of alarmingly bad at it for this kind of like woodlands survivalist type that he portrays himself as. Hit the fucking target, man. Yeah, dude, let's go.
Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it.
And there we go. We got more boys, but
Just a little longer. Scare them off.
yeah, just scare them off. When we do this with flares that we hold, they back directly away. And they can't really approach the flare terribly closely.
Almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move
Move it
it or lose it.
or lose it. Fucking.
Bring it.
Well, he talks a lot of shit for being as bad of a shot as he is.
Oh, you feeling better now, Wake? All cozy and safe. Come on. Only sissies are afraid of the dark.
Okay.
Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
Charming, isn't he?
This is it, Wake. The last stand. There's more players here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Anyway, he seems to know how it is that the narrative is constructed. Likely having read some of Alan's pages, huh? So we're not the only ones after those. Yeah, I see him. As we can do this. Dog, come on. You got it. Yeah, there you go. You gotta actually hit the damn target. It's always troublesome when you have to rely on NPCs in any kind of game because you're not guaranteed that they work. You wanna... Come on. Shoot somebody. There you go. Come on. Alright.
See? Nothing to it.
Okay, and we've done it.
Cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations.
His
Glorious and terrible. Once we get
his own fucking narrative.
editorial control.
You're a hell of a writer. Fucking dork.
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her mouth.
Okay.
No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here!
And, Matthew Peretta, the voice of Alan Wake there.
Thought it held some magical power, but I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
You know, an actual actor doing actual acting. Something definitely positive to be said for that. A lot of games I feel blow their budget on actors that they don't need. For this one, and for other games that Remedy does that Peretta is involved in, I feel like he's quite the choice. He really does very well. Now we see that we have bear traps. Rusty mentioned poachers earlier. It seems that they're still doing that poaching thing. You want to be bad and break the rules? We'll just break them a little. We'll get off the trail. See if it'll let us just avoid these traps altogether. Almost, 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 almost. Hey. Yeah, but there's light coming out of that building, which means stuff. But is it going to let us get to that stuff right now, or is that for later times? Looks like it's for later times. Looks like you approach it from over there. Manuscript page, though. We'll take it. log. And so we continue. We got friends. That's something else that they'll do is, if one of them still has a shield and the other does not, they will move to cover one another, so they cooperate as well, which, like I'd been saying, further serves to drive home their menace, their legitimacy as a threat. They're not simply all drawn to the same spot. They are working together against you. Looks like we've got a poacher's hide here. A generator to start. That guy to, you know, just kind of sit over there for a second. Anyway, goodbye. He's gone. He's not real anymore. There he is. Got a little bit too close, didn't he? Alright, another manuscript page. Somebody's old hunting rifle. Which I think has the highest per bullet damage in the game. I'm sure I mentioned it in another one of the videos. But typically a hunting rifle like this that holds 5 rounds and no more would be chambered in 30-06. So cartridge that's been around for quite some time and is quite effective. Over a distance, up close, whatever, on a number of large animals, and it even has its own armor-penetrating projectiles that are the standard for testing the highest protection currently available of rifle-rated body armor. Really capable cartridge. The big boys that soak revolver rounds take precisely 2 of these, and that is it. They are done. Which makes sense to me.
Fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen. It was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
Yeah. Well, time, Alan. Not quite what it is that you're used to right now, but that's okay. When you venture into, you know, the fucking Shadow Realm here, causality is optional. And looped. We have to collect the pages to know what we've already written. It's kind of like in another series I had mentioned how it would work if you tried to send a transmission faster than light. You'd get a response to the message you hadn't sent yet. He's sort of written his manuscript here faster than light. He's receiving pages that he has not written about events that have not transpired. Now, of course, he was also missing a week. Some of this was done then, certainly, but not all of it, as we'll see by the end of this. There we go. We got him again. Yeah, hey. No, I see you. They'll be back in a second. I want this ammunition. They're never far. Some of these things, if you try to start them without throwing a flare, are basically traps, and you know, you'll see me fall for that in the other videos in this series. You know, we're dealing with our own kind of fragmented now. Because you see, I've already done this, and I've already done the whole thing by the time that I'm recording it. We're just fixing errors in the prime continuity, if you will. Hey. You all hide in the bushes, huh? Hunting for your own food can save you money, that is absolutely true. You gotta have somewhere to store it, though, that's the problem. It's one of those you gotta have money to save money things. And, you know, make no mistake, I would go hunting. I've been hunting. A lot of it's waiting. I'm also... it's a strange position to be in. I'm not really fond of the idea of taking a life outside of, like, if I have some sort of immediate need for sustenance. Ooh. There we go. Forgot that was part of the thing where it just about fell over. So, I would also just as soon not, but venison is also delicious, and I know where and how to do it, and I don't know that I would feel terribly bad these days. I certainly didn't before. About eating meat that was taken from game. If I'm going to eat it, that's fine. I don't care for trophy hunting at all, though. Here we go. We gotta kick this to raise this. To get across to there. But first... another one. Okay. And now that's done, and up we go. But first, I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. Okay, and hop. We've done it. That's another page. That's another dangerous puddle. You don't want to slip in that. And a ladder. Up we go to the top of the mill where there's some more puddles. We'll just go ahead and we'll clean that up for them. Because, you know, it seems like this structure has also seen better days. You don't want, you know, hostile shadow goo on it. That's just gonna fuck up the wood. The darkness wears her face.
Be aware of Widowmakers.
Okay. I'm going to assume that's a kind of tree that he might be talking about. Given that he's dressed in logging equipment. Well, you could be up there. That's an option. You can also reach through and grab that. It may be to jump to the roof or just show you or something. Who knows what that's for? Anyway, here's some extra hunting rifle rounds. Can we just hop this? Yeah, you can just hop that and get there all the same. Well, anyway. Not that way, it would seem. Ah, the ramp. It was the ramp the whole time. Bats. The darkness doesn't seem to have any use for bats. I don't know why. You'd figure they would be prime candidates, but maybe they're too used to it. Or maybe the darkness is not really capable of latching onto things that just live in it. It's too familiar. Or the creature has been so exposed that it's second nature. Who knows what it is that we've got up there? Oh, I know what it is that we've got up there. Okay. Well, you know, we tried. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Anyway, he's done now, and so is his friend up here. Alright. Further up we go. Another drop hazard. Very nice waterfall, though. Even though the game is dated, and it is dated, you know, it looks like it does, because it's quite old at this point. I don't know, I still find the wilderness convincing. I think a lot of it is owed to the way it is that they obscure it.
Logging is a hazardous occupation.
Yeah, it is. This one's got a chainsaw. Again, not something that I would want to have in contact with my flesh, but also not something that you necessarily want to use as a weapon. If you're looking for anything that you're going to be able to use for any length of time, that is. There's no way that you're not going to get that gummed up on, you know, flesh, fat, muscle. Anything that's at least able to get in those gears and fuck it up. They're machines, you know? Anything with moving parts can get clogged. There's another hiking trail sign. Elderwood. It's where we are. Hey, Barry.
Barry?
Ow! The porch is covered with birds. They've got all Hitchcock on me.
Stay out of sight. I'm on my way. Don't open the door.
What am I, crazy?
Stay hidden. I'll be there soon. Just make sure you keep the lights on.
Well, Barry is being accosted by birds. It says these are the campgrounds.
I still had to reach Barry at the cabin, but
A lot of trailers here. He's out of the woods, do you get it? Do you get it? Out of the woods like he's out of danger. Hang on, I gotta shoulder check this tire swing. Boom. Got it. Alright. Y'all got treats for me? This is the cleanest men's room I think I've seen. I mean, someone will come out of that door. Garage keys. Oh, hey.
a story is not a machine that does what you tell it. A story is a beast with a life of its own.
Sort of.
Create it, shape it, but as the story grows, it starts wanting things of its own. Change one thing and you set off a chain reaction of events that spreads through the whole thing.
Sure.
Characters have to be true to themselves.
Yes.
The events need to follow a logic that fits the story. A single flaw and the magic is gone.
Yeah.
The story dies. Alice dies.
Your readers run away. One extremely irrelevant dude on the internet makes fun of your inability to form a narrative.
And yourself.
That's true. Thanks for the advice. Another manuscript page. Should we? Dare we enter the Forbidden Zone? It's okay. There's no way. Unless these ladies are just straight up dropping deuces and peeing on the floor, this is not in service. So, there's urinal stalls back here. Okay. Why didn't they put toilets in this one? Maybe they expected us to simply not enter. It's strange, though. Well, nothing left to do but steal this truck. You can imagine those headlights would be quite effective, wouldn't they? Well, looks like it's Rusty's truck. Well, Rusty. Ooh, he's got navigation in the dash. That's nice. Rest in peace, Rusty. We're, as the song says, gonna drive your truck. Get off. The vehicle handling in this game is okay. It's not what I would consider great. You can ramp them. That's kind of fun. But, you know, it serves its purpose. There's not terribly many spots to use a vehicle in Alan Wake. But the spots are there, and they could have been worse. It's not as, like, floaty as GTA, but you still do have to kind of nudge the directionals, otherwise it's just going to ignore you. And we've made it. I mean, thereabouts anyway. Just up the road here is a roadblock. And we simply must get to Barry. Oh, was that? That was them, huh?
The
Flares,
probably the
flare
best I
guns.
could imagine against the dark things I was facing.
Hey. No, you can stay over there. I'm gonna reload my shit. Okay, anyway, this is for you. He was real mad about that for a second, but it didn't last. Hey. I kind of figured there was something going on back there. Bye. It's another checkpoint down. What, Barry? I'm right here.
It was the kidnapper.
Oh no, it's the kidnapper.
Where's my wife?
Enough horseplay, Wake. You deliver the manuscript, and you can have your woman back. Simple as that.
I don't... Listen. Listen. I'm gonna need time to finish it. I still need to write the ending. I need a week.
It's not done.
I need a week.
2 days. The old Bright Falls coal mine is nearby. You can find it easy, city boy. The main building, there at noon. You bring the manuscript, you'll get your wife. If not, well, get me?
Yes, I get you.
Okay, but again, you know, you kill her off, there's nothing stopping me. That's your only bargaining chip. You are in an incredibly precarious situation. One that I don't think has ever really... Yeah, there they are. And they just knocked out power. And we'll deal with this. Anyway, it's... I can't come up with any points in time where, like, I can say for certain...
Ow! Ow! I am so glad you're here.
Yeah, hey.
A couple of them got in here before I blocked the chimney. This isn't normal. These birds are
No. Yeah, they are. Actually, they're not. This is standard. More flare gun ammo. We're gonna have to deal with them before we go inside. Dealing with them looks like this. This is just kinda it. The birds are not an exciting enemy. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, there they are. And Barry just found out he might be allergic to birds. I suppose it's not impossible, you know, they do produce a lot of, like, debris. Pi has a constant dust allergy, no matter how many showers he takes. Not allergy, aura. Sorry. I'm thinking about my dust allergy. And he is a chief dust contributor. Though it's not any worse with him around, so it's gotta be something else in the dust. I'm not entirely sure what causes a dust allergy.
Barry, you can open the door now. They're gone.
Yeah, they fucked off. And okay.
Hey, Al.
Hey, Barry.
I'm sorry for thinking you were having a psychotic episode, man.
Oh, don't be. That's completely reasonable.
I sent Barry to the town to ask around about a man fitting the kidnapper's description. He'd go through the archives of the local paper. Perhaps he could learn something. Anything about the island and the cabin that had disappeared. The man wanted a manuscript. I had to try to write him one to get Alice back. For me, the supernatural had always been nothing but a metaphor for the human psyche, a tool to use in writing fiction. Now, it was happening for real, and I couldn't put a single word on paper.
Yeah, I mean, that's alright. I don't know that there's much supernatural about your last book.
Wheeler speaking.
This is Rose.
Rose?
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Oh, you sweet, brilliant girl.
Could you and Mr. Wake come get them? I live in the trailer park outside the town.
We'll be there in less than an hour.
Bye now.
See you soon.
Have a great day. Hope you come back soon. Welcome to the Oh Dear
Diner.
Good girl.
Well, it seems as if Rose has been compromised. And their use of just panning outside to a normal world, you know, it's dark inside the house, but broad daylight otherwise. There's always a shadowy place for the darkness to reach out to you from. Other darknesses, not this one. You know where to find me if you want to find me. Anyway, that's 1 and 2. There we go, end of episode 2. We'll go ahead and we'll send you here. And we'll kill the noise. And so yeah, there we go. We'll see how different an experience this was. At the very least, still be watchable. Frankly, I would watch, or have you guys watch it on Twitch as well, but I flatly do not have enough of an audience for them to allow me to upload videos to their platform. So, you know, here's the solution. Anyway, I'll leave you to wander alone for a bit. We'll see you locally, my local now, tomorrow, for meet. But, you know, otherwise you'll hear me again for the rest of Alan, if you're just tuning into it over here. Alright, see ya.